Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Airline UK freakouts on Arthur TV. It's Friday night, the busiest time of the week at Luton Airport. Over 4,000 people are travelling home or going away for the weekend, and with an airport this full, things are bound to go wrong. Over at the check-in desk, we have our first casualties of the night. A group of boys off for a lads' weekend away in Aberdeen have been separated. 3 of them made it on time, but 2 of them arrived too late to check in. And as always in this scenario, the degenerates are taking it out on the easyjet staff.
If I can't hear my name being called once, and it goes, I will sue this company.
Sydney here has come back from departures to help the latecomers who aren't being allowed to fly.
We could just all go through with the luggage if you just gave us the tickets, but none of you want to do that.
No,
we won't do it because someone's just told you not to do it because you want to be really
they're in
awkward.
charge there, not because they've just told us not to.
No, I know you're doing what you're told. I know you're doing what you're told.
Stand to one side because I'm actually checking
Yeah,
another
we will, because you want to be. You've offloaded yourself.
No, I'm not.
Now Sydney's been told that by leaving departures, there's a risk he may not be allowed to board.
Well, you're telling me my stuff's offloaded. Are you telling me my stuff's offloaded? No, but are you telling me my stuff is offloaded?
Supervisor's not doing nothing constructive.
No, I didn't, because I instructed the lady, and the lady gave me permission to come back through with a
Speak to my
ticket.
supervisor
get
when they
us.
come downstairs.
Well, you're saying my ticket's offloaded.
Speak to the supervisor when they
There's
come
too many
downstairs.
people
No,
simple
trying to make a
Is my ticket
decision.
unlawful?
no.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, okay. I don't say it's offloaded.
How long have
If
we
he's
been
gonna
standing
stop-
here?
20 minutes.
20 minutes we've been standing here. We could have been on this.
I know it's a different accent, but Sydney reminds me so much of that Irish frostbite kid from the news.
Well, the mother says we had to go anyway. We hadn't much a choice in the matter, but sure.
It's a cold journey to school this morning.
Oh, good, you wouldn't belong getting frostbite.
I'm glad Sydney's Scottish accent is a bit softer because I had to watch that 4 times to figure out what the hell he was saying. Anyway, back at the check-in desk, Kirsty has called in Supervisor Graham Merriman to help with communication.
We want to get on this flight to Aberdeen. We were here before it had been called. Guarantee it was here before a call because I just came down from check-in. Right, my jacket's up there. The flight was not here. I was sitting actually at the seats. Everyone's sitting down at the seats. No one's getting on the plane. I've come down here, spoke to the lady at your ticket desk to find out where these 2 are.
Give me 2 seconds.
Graham needs to find out whether Sydney will be flying or not. It's a tense wait for the Scotsman.
Hold on for 2 seconds. Okay, do you have your bank details with you?
I do. I have
Take
mine.
them.
What do you need my bag deals for? You can offload me.
Well, if you're not going on the flight, they're going to be offloading you. Yeah.
Are you not going to let these 2 on the flight?
They have been refused to go on the flight.
But they were here in plenty of time.
I'm going to get into basically the bottom line is
Yeah.
if you want to travel, you have
Yeah.
a boarding pass.
Yep.
If you wish to travel, you need to go down to the aircraft. If you don't want to travel, then we're going to offload you.
Sydney realises he hasn't got much of a choice and decides to leave his friends and board the last flight to Aberdeen. As Sydney makes his way over to the departure gates, up in Liverpool, Sarah Tier is facing a sticky situation of her own. And this time, it's easyjet's fault.
We've got a possible weight problem on the Malaga flight going out, and it could be possibly only be able to take 125 passengers, and we've got 143 on the flight. How many have we checked in? 112, so it won't be long. All right then, bye.
The plane has arrived and it's bad news. It's not going to be big enough to take everyone. Even though they have a ticket and arrived on time, some of the passengers will not be allowed to board. And it's now up to Sarah to break the news.
Stop boarding. You only let passengers through with boarding cards 1 to 30.
The passengers still haven't been told.
Under no circumstances. Stop boarding them.
A bit awkward, like, because we haven't really done an announcement to say that they mightn't be able to travel. We're just going to start doing the first 100, and I think they're going to get back to us and just basically see how it goes. They're just probably right now they're just working on the weight figures at the moment, so we've still got to get the aircraft out, so we've got to obviously start boarding, otherwise it's going to miss its slot.
This calls for passengers holding boarding card numbers 125 and upwards, travelling on flight EZY 743 to Malaga, to please remain seated. Thank you.
Look at this guy's face. He can sense the easyjet shithousery coming from a mile away. And his suspicions are right. The Malaga passengers start to board, unaware that 18 of them won't be going anywhere. Just before we get into the passenger reactions, I really quickly just wanted to say that currently only 2% of people that are watching this series are subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying the series and you don't want to miss out on the next episode, as well as a video special coming with Saint Leo very soon, please consider really quickly just hitting that subscribe button below. It honestly makes such a big difference and I really would appreciate it. Plus you'd get all the airline freakouts delivered straight to your homepage, so hopefully it'd be worth your time. For those of you who are subscribed or are just subscribing now, thank you. It really means a lot. The time has finally come for Sarah to tell the truth to the remaining passengers.
The situation is at the moment, due to weight restrictions and weather conditions, we can't take a full load this evening. But there is compensation for this and you will be refunded for this leg. Off you this letter explains everything in it. You will be offered travel tomorrow. You will also be refunded £100 compensation and £50.
Understandably, some passengers can't quite believe their ears.
What's the matter?
There's weight restrictions, unfortunately. They're not allowing you to travel this evening. We couldn't actually establish this until... Sorry?
What else are the cases and everything?
We've got all your bags there ready because we might have been expecting this, but we weren't too sure, so we have put your bags to one side.
What time will we fly tomorrow? What
It'll be 10 past 6.
Are you going to compensate us for work as well?
Well, this is just the £100 compensation and £50 the hotel accommodation.
Compensate my bar, not opening, love.
Wait a second. Is the flight taking off?
It's going, yeah, but it can't. Due to
but I want to see it.
Unfortunately, they're not allowing everyone to travel.
No, but I want to see it.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? Come right this way and we'll get you on board. Oh wait, no, the weight restrictions haven't changed from literally 10 seconds ago, you massive divvy.
Unfortunately, you can't get on board that aircraft. It'd be too dangerous to take all the passengers. And the passengers who booked in first were given priority. That's the fairest way they could do it, unfortunately.
This whole thing is a mess from easyjet's side, but there is a weight restriction and she's obviously not going to put the lives of the other passengers in danger, so what does this guy actually expect her to do?
This is disastrous.
It's due to the weather conditions. They can't put as much fuel on board because of the wet weather, you see.
When is this, tomorrow?
Can you buzz through and see if anybody's less bothered about getting over tonight than now?
They're probably not going to do it.
Yeah, well, can you just do it, please?
Oh yeah, unfortunately all the weight is worked on
You can ask, but the captain, I doubt very much that he's going to do it.
Okay, Jim. Go on. Malaga. Okay, is it possible you could ask the captain to do an announcement on board to see if anyone's willing to go off to trade their place with this gentleman?
As the rather optimistic search for a passenger willing to give up their seat begins, traffic delays around Luton Airport begin to take their toll.
I was due on the Aberdeen flight, which I believe is delayed.
Mr. Hutchins phoned the terminal to let them know he was delayed and was told that it shouldn't be a problem.
Expects to go any minute now.
I was told it was delayed by an hour and I rang up about 20 minutes ago.
Sandeep J. Mal calls dispatchers to see if the delayed flight will accept Mr. Hutchins, who has now been joined by another late passenger.
Oh, the aircraft's here, so I can't do it. All right then, lovely. Cheers, bye.
I love how he just says lovely. This guy could not give less of a shit.
Yeah, that is a negative on the Aberdeen. The aircraft's already here.
They don't tell you that.
No, because the aircraft's here, they won't accept any LMCs.
Well, no, so I've got a booking and I've got a confirmed ticket I've paid for it.
Because the check-in is closed, even though it is delayed, the aircraft is now landed, so they won't accept you.
Where is this customer empathy and helping the customer?
What it is even though the aircraft is delayed, you still have to check in on time.
Get me supervisor now, please. Get me the senior easyjet person here now.
It won't make any difference.
I don't care. Get them here now, please.
Yeah, but why didn't you check in on time?
What? Because I've been stuck on the trains and I cannot be in two places at once. I've tried being schizophrenic in two places at once.
Weird flex, but okay.
So I'm here as fast as possible with the traffic. The other gentleman's been stuck with traffic.
I genuinely have no idea why this guy's trying to make it out as if the airline are being unreasonable. No one's asking him to be in two places at once, just to be at the airport on time for the flight that he booked literally weeks in advance. With these two kicking up a fuss, easyjet have brought in Supervisor Jane Murauru, who's basically a pound shop St. Leo Jones, to tell Mr. Hutchins that he definitely will not be flying to Aberdeen.
15 minutes trying to get on that aeroplane, and despite that, you are not letting me on an aeroplane which is here.
Let me explain. First of all, I believe Becky tried to get you on the aircraft, yeah? I have just again phoned my dispatcher downstairs in our dispatch office and said, please, 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 is there any way at all?
Is the plane full?
I don't know, sir.
All we're asking simply, if the planes sit on the ground and there's seats on the plane, which we've paid for, is it, instead of standing here chatting.
It's out of our hands, yeah. When we have late passengers, we call the necessary people on the dispatch department. We talk to the captain, and he ultimately makes the decision. And
When
he
was
has
the
said
captain
no.
talk to?
I don't know, because I've just come down here to talk to you right now.
When was the captain talk to? Because we were here at past.
While the BTEC St. Leo tries to figure out what's happened, the passengers up in Liverpool are growing even more frustrated with easyjet's compensation plans.
Well, you can't do that. You can't leave people stuck in a flaming airport, offer this, and then say, oh dear, we're going to put it back into your account. That's no good to me. I have no chequebook with me, no card with me.
He's not authorised me to organise accommodation.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to get onto someone a bit higher then and find out what the hell they can do. Because that's no good to me.
It's right, that.
Can't bother.
That's not going to pay for what I've lost on customers going in. My pub's not going to open tomorrow now. So.
It's the moment of truth. We're about to find out if anyone gave up their seat for this guy.
Doing a PA on board and no one's offered to come off the flight, so...
Oh yeah, justice is done. Not actual justice, but what I wanted to happen, which is basically the same thing.
Did get quite a good deal, really. Got £100 compensation, a refund from the flight, and they got £50 towards hotel accommodation. So I think that sort of softened the blow. But there was only the two really who were upset. Everyone else seemed to take it in the stride.
A poor display from easyjet, but not really Sarah's fault. At least she made it clear to the passengers what was going on, which is more than you can say for Jane, whose story doesn't seem to be adding up for Mr. Hutchins and the bearded menace.
Having got here, we're told the flight's delayed an hour. So right, go to the other desk, and then you get a whole stream of conflicting information about where you are, and while you're frittering around waiting, you know, somebody with a bit of logic could have slid you through the system. You've got a plane sitting on the runway which isn't due to take off for another half an hour.
No, it's not.
By your own
estimated time.
By
yeah,
your own
always,
people's comments.
That's why we always say it's
saying,
estimated, sir, though, because it's not got. I think it's gone now. I think it's pushed back and gone. The doors have closed. It's been here. It got on the ground. I think at 25 I'm not 100% sure on that because I need to check that out. So obviously with the delay, it's always. That's why we say estimated, because it changes.
As Jane struggles to manage the situation, a call comes in for Mr. Hutchins that makes things a whole lot worse.
Hold on a sec. This passenger is flying on your airplane.
Right.
He's not even on the airplane.
As I've said, sir, they've made a decision. The captain has said
it's
the air...
been pulled back.
I thought it had,
this
sir. I said I need to double check
This guy
that.
is sitting
right
100 yards away.
There's
you
no
told
point.
Me.
I said I believe it's pushed back, and I would need to double check that.
This is like the Mr. and Taki situation from episode 1 all over again.
I have my mobile number with me 24 hours.
An airline freakouts classic.
There's no point in arguing over and over again.
Well, don't tell me a lie. Your credibility has gone straight through. Don't
call me a liar.
You said it pulled
back. Don't call me a liar.
You said the airplane...
Do not call me a liar, please.
Did you or did you not say the airplane had pulled back?
I believe they would have pushed back and closed the doors.
Who's the customer and who's the service provider
but
here?
I'm not going to stand here and just be called a liar.
This gentleman...
I am here. I've come to try and help you.
This gentleman interpreted
I've explained
what
why
you
you
said
can't
to
get
me...
on the flight, and I'm trying to do everything I can to help me. Please do not call me a liar, sir. Okay? Please do not call me a liar.
What are you if you are
Do not call me a liar, please. I'm not going to ask again.
Fine.
If you continue to, I shall just go away.
I will not call you a liar. However, I find it strange that this gentleman interpreted what you said to me in the same way I did.
I said I believe it's probably pushed back.
I love how he says he's not calling her a liar and then basically says the exact same thing in a different way.
You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
And now their only option is to fly to Edinburgh instead.
I think at the end of the day, we've basically got two passengers that are going to eventually calm down and realise that we did everything we could to help them because they were the ones that were late. So, we can only try and do our best.
I can't believe the series has a new manager with a mix of Jane Bolton's first name and St. Leo's image, and this is what we got. We could have been in for such a dream hybrid. There was so much potential. My day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable. Time for another St. Leo special, but with video this time, I think. Anyway, over at departures, Sydney is too late. The flight is leaving without him. His only hope now is to try and find seats on another flight to Scotland.
I thought you were going to come back and sort us out with that other flight, because the Glasgow one's just gone now.
Yeah, okay. You're on the, basically, if you go on the Glasgow flight, you're going to end up being delayed, so put you on the Edinburgh flight, which goes at 8:50.
Yeah.
Alright? So, there is another Glasgow flight that goes at 9, but this is going to get you in earlier than the Glasgow flight.
Okay, fine.
Alright?
We've chose Edinburgh. We're looking at a 3.5 hour drive to Aberdeen. and then another drive hour from there. I was going to pick up a rental from Aberdeen, so pick up a rental from Edinburgh. No difference. Only difference going to be is we're going to get into Banff, where we live, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and some. So no time in the pub for young lads tonight.
And so with a rare smile, another day of madness with easyjet comes to an end. To make sure you don't miss the next episode of Airline UK Freakouts and another upcoming St. Leo special, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. I'll also leave the links to my Instagram and Twitter in the description, so if you want to, you can come say hi before the next video is up and keep up to date with everything that's happening until then. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye for now.